What's up and welcome. This is Me, You, and Switch 2. I'm me, Tom Tate, and you are you. So let's talk about Switch 2. This is the latest and greatest Nintendo Switch 2 news brought to you every Tuesday and Friday in snackable 10-minute episodes. It is Friday, January 2nd, 2026. I want to wish you a very happy new year. I hope it's off to a great start. I have a lot of ambitious goals this year. Podcasting is one of them, certainly beyond podcasting as well, too. I'm looking forward to making some meaningful progress. And if you're just joining the show for the first time, welcome. Hope that you enjoy it. Hope that you join us for the ride. I think 2026 is going to be, it's going to be an incredible year for Switch 2. I think naturally we're going to start to see games that began their development as Switch 2 games. So remember, we had a lot of games this year that are either ports of games that existed for a while or games that began as Switch 1 games. I'm thinking about Donkey Kong Bonanza or Metroid Prime. So, we have no idea at this point what first-party Nintendo games will anchor that 2026 holiday lineup, right? The big heavy hitters that I'm hopeful we'll see drop in September, October, November. So, lots of excitement. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for being here. I think it's going to be a great year. So every first episode of the month, I focus mostly on what Switch 2 games are planned for release. And this month is pretty stacked, so we're going to dive right in. Yesterday, January 1st, we had Arcade Archives 2 Space Invaders Part 2. This is the 1979 Taito original. This is just after the first Space Invaders released through Arcade Archives last month. I think I saw that, I think it's Hamster is the developer for Arcade Archives. They released 500 titles, I think, which is insane. But they're doing some great work, and they're continuing to release these every month. January 15th, which is the next big release dates, we have The Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon. This is going to be $69.99. It is a 2024 role-playing video game developed by Nihon Falcom. It's part of the Trails series. I don't know what number this one is, but there are certainly a lot. I believe this is the first official English release for this particular one, though. It's coming to Switch and Switch 2. This is a 55, 60-plus hour RPG, so if you're looking for that, this might be the one. But also on January 15th, we have Animal Crossing New Horizons Nintendo Switch 2 edition. This is going to be a $4.99 upgrade if you have the Switch 1 version. I don't know what the retail price will be if you don't. So if you're just looking to get into Animal Crossing for the first time, I don't know how much you're going to be paying here. There was a whole mini Nintendo Direct on this, and I covered it in episode 44 if you wanted to go into the backlog and check that one out. The TLDR here, and this is straight from the Nintendo game listing. Nintendo Switch 2 Edition features enhanced resolution, faster load times, mouse control support for faster and easier decorating, a megaphone for calling your animal residents that uses the system microphone, and more. So this is being released kind of alongside a recent 3.0 updates, which might be plenty to bring players back to New Horizons or to get you to start playing for the first time. January 20th, we have Mio, M-I-O, Memories in Orbit. This is $17.99 right now. I think that's a pre-order price. Very beautiful graphics. I think this has kind of a Child of Light-esque art style, if you've ever seen that game. The official listing here says, Awaken Mio, a nimble robot with extraordinary abilities, and unravel the mysteries of the vessel. An enormous technological ark overgrown with lush vegetation and machines gone rogue. So this was shown off on one of the indie or partner directs in 2025. I remember this one specifically. I feel like people thought this was Silksong for a second, and then they were let down when they realized that it wasn't. But I'm expecting this to be a bit of a Metroidvania just from the looks of it. Don't know too much else. Also, the following day, January 21st, we have the Rumblefish 2 Nintendo Switch 2 edition. This is a 2D anime-style fighting game. It was released on arcade. It was released in the arcade March 2005. So this game is 20 years old, almost 21 years old. It was later released on Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox, Windows in 2022, and now we're getting this enhanced Switch 2 edition in 2026. It is going to bring us graphical updates, improved graphics, new game mode, team battle, and cross-play with Nintendo Switch players. $19.99 for this one. The next day, on January 22nd, this is the one I'm excited for, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. I've talked about this game so much on the show, you're probably sick of hearing me talk about it. One of my favorites when I first played it on PS4, but I will recognize that it's not for everyone. So this game is, I love it for the nostalgia, and I play a lot of games for nostalgia specifically. Others may not want to play games for nostalgia and just leave things the way they were. And I love that. I appreciate that. If you played it on a Sony console, you might also not feel inclined to play it again on Switch. So if you've already played this game, I don't know why you would pick it up. I'm planning to pick it up. I think I'm planning to pick it up to vote with my wallet. I'm going to do one of those things just to let Square Enix know I want this series and I want more Final Fantasy games, and I want, the inevitable Chrono Trigger remake. I want all the things, the Mana games. I want all the things on Switch too. So I'm going to pick it up, and I'm eager to turn on the cheat codes. So there's all these game-breaking codes that will allow me to speed run through the story and just relive some of those main beats, which is awesome. I'm excited to do that. There's a demo live now if you want to check it out. It's only $40. They're not trying to make this a $60 or $70 game, and it includes the DLC, the extra episode that was released after the initial game came out on PS4. Also on January 22nd, we have Dynasty Warriors Origins. This is a $60 title. This is a hack and slash Muso style game. We've gotten quite a few of these on Switch 2 already, including Hyrule Warriors. According to Wikipedia, it is the 10th installment in the Dynasty Warriors series. It was released first for PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox on January 17, 2025. So it's over a year later that we're getting this on a Nintendo console, but the reviews are very strong for this one. So if this is your style of game and you don't own those consoles, you might want to check out Dynasty Warriors Origins on January 22nd. January 28th, we have Core Keeper Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. This is an upgrade to a Nintendo Switch 1 version of a 2024 Switch game. The description here says, mine relics and resources to build your base, craft new equipment, survive and power up the core. Defeat giant monsters, discover hidden secrets, farm crops, cook new recipes, and explore a procedurally generated underground world in a mining sandbox adventure for 1 to 4 players. This game is graphically, it's a top-down 2D sprite-based game. The new version will bring enhanced graphics, 8-player co-op if you have more than 6 or 7 friends. I have a few. It's $11.99 right now. It'll be a free upgrade for the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Next, we're very excited about this one. January 28th, we're getting Dispatch. This is not a kid's game. I'll preface by saying that. This is very much a mature kind of adult game, but this is a big one. Dispatch was hands down my 2025 game of the year, and I played a lot of games. I played this one on Steam Deck. It is an episodic narrative game. It's very similar to the old Telltale games. It has a great world, full of superheroes that intervene in the community. It could be just showing up to a press event, but it could also be fighting bad guys. Your character, the main protagonist, he works for a company that manages and dispatches these superheroes to the scene whenever a call comes in. You choose decisions and dialogue choices that have an impact on how the greater story plays out. And there's a dispatching mechanic and a hacking game mechanic, that adds some varieties. So there's, story beats, but then there's also this dispatch game, the game within the game. For me, though, it is just all about the story. It felt very well done. I laughed out loud a lot. This is a very funny game. It is heartwarming. It's endearing. It has action. It has romance. It has comedy. And most importantly, I think it's a game that knows exactly what it is. It never really takes itself too seriously. as a game, as a story. It's very comic book-like in that sense. Very fun. It reminded me of a more lighthearted The Boys. If you've watched that show, I think that's an Amazon Prime show. I'm glad it's making its way to Switch. I'm glad more games like this are making its way to Switch 2. Hopefully that signals to the industry that, hey, if you have a hit somewhere else, you got to bring it to Switch 2. And then finally, on January 29th, we have Card and Seal, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. This is a card battling game from Inti Creates. The Nintendo Switch 1 edition is $14.99 right now. The official description here is Card and Seal is a roguelite card battling RPG featuring over 300 different cards and 50 unique vocal songs. Play as Neon, the gaming chair detective, famous for solving net crimes as he encounters a strange new case when he dives into an in-development game world. So this Nintendo Switch 2 edition will support 4K resolution, 60 to 120 frames per second, and mouse controls. The upgrade is likely going to be $10. It's not official yet. Maybe that'll change considering the game itself is only $14.99. It's possible. I always do this list kind of before the month starts or just as the month is starting. And a few titles always pop up throughout the month. I've noticed that continue to happen. I'm sure it will likely happen this month as well too, but these are the official games that we know of that have release dates. Lots of RPGs this month. A big release for Animal Crossing fans and another highly rated Muso game for fans of that genre. And of course, as I mentioned, Dispatch. It's pretty cool to see that come to Switch 2 and come to it pretty quickly. That's it for today. We're at the 12-minute mark right now. One of my goals, of course, is to keep this under 10 minutes, but these episodes are always a little bit longer because it'll depend on how many games are releasing, and I'm sure that list will continue to grow throughout the month, throughout the year as well, too, as more games are in development for Switch 2. That's okay. One of my goals is to be more active on Blue Sky. I'm over there at Switch2Pod. That's Switch with the number 2 pod. So if you are stoked on a specific game, let me know. As always, I want to thank you so much for your time and your attention. A kind rating or review on your podcast listening app of choice really helps me continue to grow the show. It's very important as we kick off the year. Sharing with a friend, family member, Discord server, subreddit, or wherever gamers hang out goes even further. You can head on over to switch2pod.com for all the things. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Pocket Cast. We should be in all the places. Much love. Happy New Year. Now go play some games.